Mert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Wait a minute, baby, going too fast. I'ma turn back. Oh, wait a minute, baby, going too fast. I'ma turn back. Don't even know what we're fighting for, but damn, I need a minute. So baby, keep your distance. I heard it all, so I'ma just go. Don't bother waiting up. I just need some time alone. Damn, where the hell are my keys? I just wanna leave, get in my car, and I'ma just drive all night. Turn the
Welcome
phone
in.
when
Happy
I want
Monday.
it.
You are locked in to Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Tamar Braxton. Happy birthday. Little St. Patrick's Pisces baby. Shout out to her. Her voice, undeniable. You are locked in to the entertainment news update. I hope that you had a great weekend, that you are relaxed and ready to get into some real talk mixed with a little bit of mess, because you know how we do a little bit. Tonight, we are getting into Rick Ross dropping a hot financial take. So hot, in fact, that the video got deleted off of Instagram. So we're going to talk about what he said and why he feels the schools should be teaching hustlers how to make money and what you really should be doing with your student loan. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk Boosie. You know, Boosie is the king of a hot take. And he has a new interview that is coming out with Jason Lee. And so, of course, they're releasing snippets. And two of them already has the internets, the social media streets buzzing. Boosie says, first of all, his kids will never smoke weed. This is Boosie saying this. And we're going to get into the reasons why he said it's a gateway. We'll get into that. And Boosie has a hot take on rappers and athletes who he feels are making a connection to gay culture. He has a really hot take on this, and we are going to get into it. And it may surprise you. It's not necessarily what you think, but it may surprise you. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get into, we all loved Insecure. Season 1, we loved Tasha and Dro. He was a hit. But, since then, Sarunas Jackson, sometimes a little bit of his outside business has spilled into the streets, as we do in this social media era. And it's gotten a little sticky. So, Dominique Perry, she lit fire on Twitter following up to some commentary from, I guess, Sarunas' most recent girlfriend. Yeah, it's messy. We're going to get into that. And of course, before we get into all of that, I have to drop a couple of conversation starters, things to get you in the know quickly, though. So first up, Beyonce has dropped the last date for the Cowboy Carter tour. The final stop is in Vegas, July 25th, and 94% of the tickets for this tour are sold out. So, do you got your Cowboy Carter tickets? Are you going to be in the building? They say Vegas is going to be very special. So, we'll have to see. And speaking of touring, you got Will Smith. He's about to drop an album March 28th. He has new music coming. Not only new music, he's going on tour, but not in America. He's going on a European tour this summer, hitting up the UK, all over, and it's in support of the new music. So we'll have to see what Will does as far as the music, what the reception is, and the tour to see if he brings it to the States. Me personally, I would love to see Will Smith in concert. When's the last time? I mean, I know we've seen some performances, but wouldn't you like to see him perform Summertime? Right? Men in Black, do his little stuff. I would. I think it would be a good time. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And the final Dreamville Festival is happening soon, and the 2025 lineup has been announced. It has 21 Savage, Lil Wayne, of course, J. Cole, Tems, Keisha Cole, and Erykah Badu, Wale, and more. So are you going to be getting your tickets? So that's it for your little music update. When we come forward, we're going to get into everything Rick Ross had to say, what Boosie had to say, and of course, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
The revolution will not be televised.
What's up? It is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render, and I'm encouraging you to listen to more, not less, of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, remember, if at any point you want to get in on this conversation, feel free to hit me up, 800-920-1580. You can also hit us on social media, KBLA 1580. Jump in that YouTube chat. It is already going. You can hit me personally at Stiletto Jill. Now, grab your snacks. Let us get into this. Wait, I want to tell you something before I get into Roz. Fans of Snowfall have something to look forward to. We heard that there might be a Snowfall spinoff. Well, it's going to pilot, y'all, and it is going to star Gail Bean. She played Wanda, and Leon, who was played by Isaiah John. It's going to focus on LA in the 90s, once again, not the 80s, but the 90s now, after the end of the original series. And Wanda is, recovering from her issues, and she's trying to take West Coast rap mainstream despite the infighting from the gang wars. So that's what the series is going to be about. Let me know if you're trying to check that out. So, maybe it could replace your BMF fetish or whatever. So, speaking of BMF and all of those things, Rozay said that he has some thoughts on what schools really need to be teaching, right? So, recently he took to his social media, and let's just say that Rick Ross is not talking about algebra and Shakespeare, okay? According to him, schools should have been teaching hustlers how to make money from the beginning, right? How to invest, of course, how to boss up. But he specifically says that not only that, right? When you get into school, they should ask you what type of lifestyle you want to lead, what type of house you want to live in. Oh, you want that huge, huge house? These are the type of jobs that can get you there. This is what you need to do. He then takes it one step further. According to him, you should not utilize your student loans for your tuition. You should take that money, purchase a house, and flip it by the time you graduate. He said you'd own 100 houses because he said he is about ownership. He says that in real life, schools aren't teaching you a skill set that is going to get you through and sustain you. He also mentioned things about, crafts and stuff like that, a trade, technical school. So with that, he has a point. However, I suspect maybe the illegal side might be perhaps why the video is deleted. I'm unclear. I'm unsure. But, there is a point to trade school and things of that nature as a viable option too. Plumbers make a lot of money, things like that. I think we have to be open to all types of things and recognize and have conversations that there are a lot of different ways to, and I'm putting up air quotes, make money, to be able to sustain yourself. So, Andy, you look like you got something to add.
Yeah, I just think that, certain jobs like a plumber or, a trash man or whatnot, that those type of jobs should have been glamorized to a degree too. I think that definitely would have changed someone's psyche about getting a job like that because, I feel like I'm a victim of that. As a kid growing up, I was like, I'm not about to be no trash man. I ain't about to be over here fixing toilets and stuff like that, not realizing that some of them folks make more money than folks who got master's degrees and stuff like that. So, trades might be more beneficial for, somebody more so than this intellectual degree.
I met a gentleman that was a plumber, and eventually he worked for, I think it was UCLA, and he ended up developing a business from there, whatever he started out as, and providing the plumbing and taking care of the plumbing for UCLA and their construction thing. And with this, he was able to purchase a home, put his 3 kids through college. They don't have any debt. And he says that, people don't think about it, but he, lived a very comfortable life. And he was at the point where at this point in time, he was considering selling his business because his kids had graduated college. They were off on their own doing things. Home was paid for and all of that. So I think that it is a conversation that we should have. I see we have Fahima from D.C. on the line. Good evening. Happy Monday, Fahima. How are you?
Greetings, my sister. How are you, Jill?
I'm great.
Well, just very quickly, I want to preface my comments by saying that I had my student loan paid off just under the radar before administrations changed. Prefacing with that, my student loans were paid off in December. But the person who made the comment about you should take your student loans and go and buy a house is speaking like someone who never had a student loan.
Right.
And yes, you can make professional in those professions like doing HVAC and plumbing, etc. But if you get a student loan, your tuition is paid off, and if you all those out there that have been to college who get those refund checks once everything is settled. So you can't apply the student loan money to buying a house because it goes directly to the institution, and whatever is left over you get in a refund check. So he's speaking for someone who, and oftentimes people on the outside have no idea what they're talking about and they make comments. Yes, it's true that trade schools, you can make a good living and take on those professions. But, oftentimes people who don't know what they're talking about have these really great ideas.
I think, and I understand your point, and I think there was a little facetiousness in it. I think his general idea was basically saying you're paying to go to college, that money you could be investing in yourself. Like, I think he's trying to get that message across more so than, because either way, you can't use your student loans, even if you're getting the cash to buy a house. Once again, that's illegal. That's not what the funds were issued for, and all of that stuff. But I think the money
doesn't go directly to you. It goes to the school.
There's grants and financial aids. There's all different things. But I think I don't think he was really talking about the technicality of it. I think he was more so trying to advocate for other means besides higher education, which, is a conversation because not everyone is necessarily meant for college in that aspect. They might be better suited for other things. Yes.
Jill, people should say what they mean and mean what they say, because just as you were able to unpack that, there are other people that are hearing that. They don't understand. And again, this dude obviously never had a student loan, and he's made money where he could send his kids to college and pay for it, or trade school, if you will, and they didn't have to take out student loans. And so people always have bright ideas about stuff that they know nothing about. And I'll just land there.
Thank you for your call, as always, Fahima. We appreciate you.
Sound like she didn't like it at all. I don't think you can knock it, but, just listening to you guys go back and forth, it brought me back to when, I was in school. And, not even just student loans, right? The Pell Grants are just, there's always extra money that you have, right?
Yeah.
After your dorms and your books and all that and your tuition and all that is taken care of. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody else. There was some extra money that I had just sitting around. And you know what I did? Blew it all off. Now, maybe that $100, and I'm just saying 100, I'm not saying how much I had left over, but even that $100 at 18 years old, if I was intuitive or smart enough to invest that into the stock market,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Look where I could have been. So I'm going to go ahead and take what Rick Ross had to say. And, I think what he's saying is right. Flip that extra money that you have instead of just blowing it. I know you want to function, you want to party and all that. You probably want to impress that girl. Nah, homie. Be a little bit disciplined. You got a little bit of extra money, some, money that you got to pay back. But I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, what you're not going to learn probably, because you're probably a sociology major. You're not in a business class teaching you how to invest. Invest that $100 and see where it's going to be 20 years from now.
Discipline will get you far. Listen, the chat is going in. They already have comments. Forrest Harrison said, I went to a school called Manual Arts. Shout out to Manual Arts out here.
Toilers.
In L.A. The Toilers. Aren't their colors purple and something? They taught everything you could use your hands to make dollars with. Some of my friends have been plumbers, mechanics, etc. since 1985. I do think the interesting thing about that is they did. I think that back in the day, you also had at those schools like, the cosmetology for extra credits and shop and things like that. But the flip side of that is they had those trade careers at schools, in South Central, in, certain areas. When you went out on the flip side to schools that were in other areas, like perhaps the Valley or things like that, they may not have had as much of an emphasis on those type of electives. So just, a difference in thought, a difference in what we're introduced to. And again, nothing wrong with either choice. But at the time, I believe part of the thing was, why are we always steered towards trade and technical jobs and not looked, steered towards going to college and things of that nature? So as the times change, the arguments shift as well. Andy?
College is definitely a scam, though. It's only a scam if you don't have a plan.
I can understand that. That makes sense. Let's see. DJ Black 909 says what public schools need to do is bring back home economics, bring in a life skills course as well. I definitely agree with that. I think that they should have kept evolving that class, men and women, because I know early on it was a class that only women were really supposed to take. They started integrating with both in it later on, and then it just went away along with the arts and things of that nature. HW says STEM degrees and or technical certificates are a pathway to at least being able to provide for self and family. That's a debt that's totally worth it. HW also says the arts and humanities degrees, those are debts that are questionable in the current paradigm, but tuition ought to be way cheaper anyway. So, those are great points. DJ 909 also says for our youth, we should give them as many post-high school options. College, trade school, vocational. A college degree should not be the end-all, be-all, and last resort. Wholeheartedly agree with that. So, they're continuing that conversation. We are going to move around to Boosie, right? So, like I said, Boosie always has the wild take. He is here for it. But some people are looking at these two recent takes. They're clips from an upcoming interview with Jason Lee. And, they're like, Boosie might have a point here. So, in this conversation, he talked about weed, right? And he says that he will never allow his children to smoke weed, especially as long as they're in his house. He says that he believes weed is a straight up gateway to lean, and he's very serious about it. So let's hear what Boosie had to say.
Smoking weed is not a pathway to syrup.
Bro, yes, it is. It is.
Weed is to clear up glaucoma.
I'm telling you, not in these kids. It is a high. Every time I see him, I drug test him.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah.
But not for weed, though.
Why? My son ain't finna be smoking no weed at 15.
Hold on, Boosie.
You turning into me. Boosie. Oh, you me now. No.
You not letting your kids smoke weed at 15?
No. Hell no.
Weed is a natural herb.
Well, you don't know about how Boosie raised his household.
Okay, I think people will be surprised.
I'm a Southern Baptist. My grandpa was a preacher.
Wait, Boosie.
Now, when you're 18...
Boosie Baptist is not a Southern Baptist preacher. Wait, you serious? You don't let your kids smoke weed?
No,
at 15? Boosie, you was smoking weed at 15?
It doesn't
14?
matter. My father was gone. My father died when I was 14.
Wait, Zach, hold on, Zach.
I had excuses.
Right.
You have a mother and a father.
Right.
And the object to raise your children, you not gonna be what I was. And that's the first step. You smoke weed, then you go on sip serve, then you gonna get the ecstasy.
Smoking weed is not.
Then I'm gonna knock your ass out.
So Boosie is a strict parent. He said he doesn't want his kids to turn into him. And, that's the way it's supposed to be. But a lot of people are naturally, including Jason, were shocked to hear that take from Boosie. He added in the interview that he also believes that a lot of these athletes that are, he didn't name names, but you can think about NELE Chopper. Some of the description he had, he might have been referencing Cam Newton and, maybe a Dwayne Wade. But he said athletes and rappers who are, he believes, in his eyes, catering to gay culture are doing it to be fake and to try and court attention in this social media era. He says that the flamboyance that they are showing, the painting of their nails, the extraness, the things that they are doing are not things that they were doing before in life, and they're doing it now because it is a wave. And, my thing is, well, maybe they weren't in a position or free enough or evolved enough in their fashion where they felt comfortable doing so. But I do think he might, and I'm not, no one in particular, but I do think that he might have a point about some people jumping on waves and fads. We see it in every capacity. So, as Scrappy has said, as Tank has said, and several other very straight performers, the gay community is supportive and pays very well. So some others might have taken note of that and tried to, what the term that is being used online is, gay bait. I think Harry Styles was accused of doing that as far as pop culture, and so have some others. So I think that is an interesting thought process. Relevant because we're talking about Hollywood, but Boosie's out here trying to make some sense as far as some people are concerned. Andy, what do you think?
Shout out D Wade, shout out Drake, shout out Caleb Williams.
Big facts. Big facts. All right, when we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics, more headlines, more of the tea that you check in for. All of that on the other side. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580, News, Traffic, and Sports on the other side.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Black HUD Secretary Scott Turner and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum announced a task force to identify federal land for affordable housing. They aim to streamline land transfers and cut red tape to boost supply and lower cost. Housing affordability remains a key issue, with 69% of voters highly concerned about rising prices. Wall Street is closing in the green on St. Patrick's Day. Investors largely shrugged off a weaker than expected February retail sales report ahead of a 2-day Federal Reserve policy meeting on interest rates. Corinne Rankin is the first black woman to chair the California GOP elected at the party's Sacramento convention. She replaces Jessica Patterson and defeated former state senator Mike Morrell for the role. And the Pentagon removed the webpage on Black Medal of Honor recipient Major General Charles Rogers, now showing a 404 error with DEI in the URL. Rogers was honored in 1970 for Vietnam War bravery. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Anaheim on the 91 eastbound that drives slows from the 57 freeway all the way to Green River. Also, the 57 northbound delays in Orange from Orangewood as you continue in stretches to the 91. More slowing in Brea from Imperial Highway to the 60. Pasadena 210 eastbound. That's a tough drive away from Fair Oaks. You're on the brakes and stretches all the way to the 215.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
In the NCAA men's basketball tournament, 2 HBCU schools received automatic bids to the 60-18 field. Norfolk State champions of the MEAC Conference and Alabama State champs in the SWAC. Both teams are facing a tough challenge to advance. Alabama State has a play-in game on Tuesday against St. Francis of Pennsylvania in Dayton, Ohio. 3:40 p.m. tip-off on True TV. If Alabama State wins, they'll play Auburn, the number 1 seed in the South Regional, on Friday in Lexington, Kentucky. Norfolk State also has a matchup with the number 1 seed. Norfolk State faces Florida, the number 1 seed in the West Regional, on Friday in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's a 3:50 p.m. tip-off on TNT. Stay with us on KBLA for updates on how men and women's teams from HBCU schools are doing in the NCAA tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
But let us leave these two young men to sit and reflect on the fate of the world. For life as we know it, my brother, must go on. And so the hustlers continue to hustle, and the players continue to play.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up? I'll get out of here, man. Yeah? Yeah, you can do it. Where you on your way to? Up to that. We heard it was coming. Yeah. No, I was just up on that myself, man. Wasn't nothing happening up there. Wasn't no fox. I was just running around. That's cool. You the man. You the man. All right.
I'm a man today. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Got a hold on life. I'm taking each day by day. Being strong. Know just where I'm going to as I get higher and higher. Dreams grow.
Rockefeller Records. Something like that. This is a joint. Shout out to Andy for taking us back to the 90s real quick on this chilly, cold Monday night here in LA. I hope that you are relaxed and ready to dive into some more trending topics. Listen, before I get into this next topic, I just want to tell y'all this. You know, people have had a lot to say about Bronny James, and I saw a little bit of footage from over the weekend where this guy was heckling Bronny from the sidelines. And you know, Bronny is kind of quiet, not really, he seems almost shy at times, right? But this time he turned around, he kind of played it off with his towel, and he looked at the guy and he was like, "Yo, chain is fake." Get him, Bronny. Shout out to him. I felt good. Get your lick back, Bronny. Y'all back up off him.
I guess the whole James family was being heckled because LeBron James was being heckled at the
at Bryce's game, Sierra Canyon.
Them kids were so disrespectful.
Man, it's like that now.
I was like, LeBron couldn't have a team of individuals to kind of like sit behind him. I mean, them kids were like
ruthless. I mean, I'm sure LeBron tries to not draw, as much as he can, not make himself a spectacle. But best believe, I'm sure there was security in the building.
Speaking of basketball, real quick.
Okay.
It's March Madness.
Right.
Let's talk about the ladies real quick. There's no talk about Juju.
Not yet.
Not
yet. Just not yet.
Okay. So you holding on to faith that maybe, because I mean, she is killing chicks. And nobody's talking about her like we were talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Not yet. Juju also doesn't have a rival. So,
Old girl from Connecticut, Paige Beckers? No?
You think that's a rival? How many
You're right.
classic matchups have they had?
You're right. It's not much. It just sucks that you need a rival in order to, elevate.
Pretty much. Everybody does. Heck,
she got
not
some
just in
sponsors,
sports. Sometimes people like to see a villain. So speaking of villains, Dominique Perry has called out Sarunas Jackson. They were both on Insecure. They ended up hooking up, and they have a daughter, Zen. But they did not stay together. Things got a little tricky before. And, Sarunas' family, his brother, has a son with Keke Palmer, Leo. They seem to have a trail of unstable relationship situations once they're said and done that somehow always end up public, Such is the time, right? Well, Sarunas' ex-girlfriend has took to TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and, basically said that not only was Sarunas a bad guy, that he did, a lot of shady things, even alleging some physical accusations, unconfirmed, but this is what she is alleging. She felt she wanted to let the people know. Well, Dominique retweeted her video and said that she supports the girlfriend and said that Sarunas has even neglected their daughter and made horrible jokes about her. Their daughter is autistic, and Sarunas allegedly called her a name that we are not allowed to say and made jokes about her disability. And the now ex-girlfriend backed up Dominique in that. But that's a good lesson in, sometimes women, they want to buy into, or maybe just anyone in a relationship, the toxic ex. And, conversation, and this person made me do it. When you see signs that someone is not a good person, for example, talking about their daughter's disability, maybe you want to not continue moving forward. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, we listen, we don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. So it's just an observation. I'm just going to say that, Darius, same type of situation, So these brothers, they seem to be very much of a mindset when it comes to their relationships. And not saying that they can't change, not saying that, there may not have been equal parts shadiness, but once again, when you see those red flags, pay attention. They're not there like you're at Magic Mountain. They mean something, right? Right. Andy, did you have something to say? No? Okay, we're just going to keep it moving then. I don't know. These celebrities, sometimes we don't know what's going on. All right, speaking of, get your tinfoil hats out, because I know you conspiracy theorists, right? And they're all ready to jump in all over this one. So Jonathan Majors, we mentioned, he has a new film coming out, right? He's had a deep interview where he revealed some revelations and that had happened in his life and how he is changing and growing and evolving because he is acknowledging that these things happen, right? Well, now Rolling Stone has obtained audio of he and his ex-girlfriend Grace, a recorded audio where in it, Jonathan is admitting to being what he terms aggressive with Grace. Grace indicated that Jonathan slammed her into a car and choked her. And he says, yeah, aggressive. That's what I'm saying. I've never been like this with a woman before. And they continue on in this conversation. But some are questioning the timing of this being released as we are days away from Magazine Dreams being released, which some have said, before this happened and now could be award-winning material in a role for Jonathan. Andy?
Artificial intelligence.
You think it's fake?
I don't know, but like you said, considering the timing, look, I seen some AI edited footage of Stephen A. and LeBron James.
Yeah.
And I saw the original clip, right? But when I saw this AI stuff, for a minute, I was like, whoa, that looked kind of real. And then I had to realize, this is AI.
Yeah, it was
so
pretty
I'm
fake.
just, random audio with him admitting, I don't know.
I know, but Rolling Stone put it out there saying,
and are they
it's
legitimate?
credible.
Are they legitimate? If CNN is editing stuff now,
listen,
all of these spots are questionable.
We'll have to see. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. UMG is fired back at Drake, and they have a name that they are terming Drake for his behavior. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit caspvolunteer.org. Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has worksource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, of course, I have to give you a Drake update. And UMG is talking spicy. They made a filing today in the ongoing lawsuit against not against Kendrick Lamar. Let me slow down. We know that Drake filed a lawsuit against UMG regarding Kendrick's single Not Like Us, right? Drake alleged that they use bots, blah, 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 la, 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 la. Very un-hip-hop, right? We know the history there. Well, UMG today filed a motion earlier to dismiss the lawsuit. They claim Drake is suing simply because he lost a rap battle that he provoked, and he is now trying to salve his wounds. The label also said that Drake is a willing participant in the rap beef and should accept the outcome like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be. Okay, I told you they were talking spicy, right? They had a little bit of conversation for him. They also criticized Drake for not, accepting his loss with grace, right? They said that the lyrics in Not Like Us are non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole, not fact. The label also claims that they can't be accused of malice because the song doesn't make direct factual allegations. So we know that Drake's lawsuit was filed in January, and, he's trying to get some funds from all of this. And UMG's clapback, very decisive, very poignant, very in-your-face sit-down Drake. So we will have to see as this battle rages on what finally comes of it. But, they weren't pulling any punches. And I fear they are correct in that. We are already seeing, iHeart, their portion was dismissed. Spotify, too, as well, I believe. So right now, your allegations of bot armies are looking kind of shady unless you were, once again, looking at what happened with your past albums and how they got you to the top and are thinking that this is being duplicated. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that that's what some are saying was happening, right? We don't know. We'll have to see. Morris Phillips says, give Drake a break. He knows he made a mistake. Rappers ain't no lovers. They be saying it straight. Look, if he knew he made a mistake, he would withdraw the lawsuit, right? I don't believe he thinks so. Lucas Frank, with a very poignant thought, says, Black people supporting corporations against other Black people is weird. Well, so here's the thing. Sometimes you guys say Drake is Black. Sometimes you guys call him a white Jewish boy. Sometimes you say the behavior of suing is a trait not of hip hop. Sometimes you say he's just getting his money. Again, Did you have the same problem when the two were battling out each other, making some heinous accusations to each other in the name of hip hop? Right? Like, it all starts someplace. It continues to go down, 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 right? I'm not taking sides. I'm just pointing out at every step of the way, you can point out some black on black crime if you want to be real about it. So I don't know if that is the relevant point. It is more to me about the industry and the business and what you were doing with hip hop when you were the rabbit with the gun, and what you're doing now that you're on the other side and you actually lost the battle. Like I always say what you want about Meek Mill. He took that L and kept moving, kept saying his crazy stuff on the internet, kept doing what Meek Mill does, and kept that train moving. So, I don't know. It's hip hop. It got a little dirty, but it never got, well, we don't know what happened at Drake's mansion, but never got physical. And I think that is an important thing. As big as this thing has gotten, didn't get physical, right? So to me, Drake mentioned that he was into rap for the sport of it in that post that I talked about the other day, where he said rap is a battle and people have to understand how seriously he takes it, and that he is into the sport of it, the poetic side of it. Get it out, girl. And all of that. So if that is the case, then in a battle rap, you take your L and you go home and you live to fight and come back another day. But we'll have to see, you know? Forrest Harrison says, suing over a rap battle loss is not like us. I would have to agree, you know? All right, ladies. You know, before there was Fashion Nova and Shein, there was Forever 21. And I don't know if you're aware, but Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy again. And they will be shutting down all of their U.S. stores. So it's another retail giant biting the dust. We know that, you know, online fast fashion retailers like Fashion Nova and the like have taken a dent into a lot of retail stores. Like, in a minute, it's going to be really hard for you to step out and go to a brick and mortar and get something to wear. If you want to pop something on for the night, you're going to have to do online ordering. But Fashion Nova is going bye-bye. They're shutting down all their stores. You know, they have things up to 70% off. So you might want to get in there and get a little something for old time's sake, because no more, no more. Okay, and since we mentioned a little bit about Bronny and him snapping back, good for Bronny. Draymond Green had his take on what happened with Stephen A. and all of that, as did Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade appeared on Carmelo's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And Draymond Green, of course, has his own podcast. So Dwayne took a more neutral approach. He is friends with Stephen A. And he said he understands, and Stephen A. spoke about it as a father, where LeBron was coming from. He said he might have had to see him about his, but he did kind of understand that, you know, it was kind of out of character for LeBron to step to Stephen A. in that manner. He said maybe he just couldn't contain it because he was on the sideline, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But, you know, Stephen A. said, and Dwayne said he said this to him as well, he would have, if LeBron had called him, he would have flown if he was on the East Coast, wherever he was, to sit down and talk to him about that and have that conversation. Draymond Green came at it another way. He said that, and the thing is this, LeBron said to Stephen A., keep my son's name out of your mouth. But everybody is talking about how disrespectful it was that Stephen A. was talking about LeBron as a father. But LeBron didn't say anything about Stephen A. talking to him about him as a father. He said, keep my son's name out of your mouth, which circles back to, is this about basketball? We don't know. But Draymond Green said that Stephen A. was out of pocket, and that for doing that, you call a man weak in the hood, you got to see somebody. I don't know. Is it that over being called weak? Is it that serious? Maybe.
Draymond needs to shut up.
Maybe.
As much trash as he talks, shut up.
Draymond is taking that position because, he's team clutch. And, the end is near. And we know Draymond obviously wants to be in the media space. I'm sure he's going to expand something. So we'll have to see how that all goes down. Morris Phillips in the chat says, doesn't Shaq own Forever 21? Authentic Brands was the owner of Forever 21. They bought it out of bankruptcy. But as I said, with the boom of the Fashion Novas, the Sheens, Pretty Little Things, and all of these other online boutiques, it has taken a bite out of retail. They can turn over the fashions much faster. They're getting them to you directly to your home. And so, it is no more. Authentic Brands owns a lot of brands, a lot of stuff. Marilyn Monroe's Image, Elvis Presley, whole bunch of things. Ronnie Thomas in the chat says, when you play with fire, you will get burned. White supremacy is the real black man and has always been labeled all black people in America, but now we are thinking we are better than one another. I think that has to do with the lawsuit situation. We'll see how all this plays out. I'm going to be right here to bring you your updates. Make sure that you are in the know. Make sure you are locked in each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Getting all caught up with your trending topics and headlines. I got you your front row seat to the culture. Thanks for tapping in. Up next, you know who it is already. The voice of reason, Zoe Williams. He's up to light you up for this cold, I keep saying it's cold Monday evening. Thanks for locking in, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Tonight, business is as good as it gets.